sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera up. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go! Yeah, my name is Brian. Where did Shane go? There he is. That is Shane, and that is John, and you are watching The Brain Show, my friends. Welcome to the party, dude. I'm so glad a lot of you guys came from SNP. That means you've already been watching YouTube for 2 hours, and you're still here. That is amazing. Thank you so much. First off, I want to say, Shane, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great. Already had my soccer match this morning for my kids, so it's been a great morning. I am in the middle of my Down Under-a-thon for my birthday weekend, and I got to tell you, last night we watched Crocodile Dundee and The Quick and the Dead. Very exciting. Today we're watching Grease, Star Trek 2009, Troy, The Prestige. Those are our movies tonight, so very exciting.
That sounds rad.
Yeah, are you going to throw in? You're going to throw in Quigley Down Under at some point as well?
No, because while I love Tom Selleck in Magnum PI, I wasn't so great, and I didn't like him so much in Quigley Down Under. But yeah,
bro,
good call though. Good movie.
Quigley Down Under is a great movie. I remember watching that when I was
Ate My Baby.
I remember when I watched that when I was really young, and I didn't realize how sad it was. It was such a sad film. Actually, it's really sad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna revisit it. The end of that movie, when he finally just sort of submits to the crazy lady who thinks he's someone else, and it actually saves his life. That was great, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Spoiler alert for a really super old movie.
Oh man.
Yeah. I need to go back to it. It's been probably a good 20 years since I've seen that movie. Yeah.
Well, John, how you doing today, brother?
I am doing very well, thank you, my friend. I am really looking forward to tonight's show with you two. It's going to be an absolute session of fun and hilarious moments, I'm sure, because it's you two.
Yeah, nothing but hilarity here. Well, before we get into the festivities, I want to say Chappie hitting us up with a member chat. He said, "What's up, all you brainiacs in chat?" Remember, that's the new term for our viewers.
That's the new term.
The brainiacs.
You guys are all brainiacs.
And Brian and Shane also want to shout out to our future AI overlord, Shane 3. Yes, thank you, Shane 3. And also, Chappie hit us up with 5 Brain Show gift memberships. So some lucky people got a membership today. And after this show, right after, we're going to go right into another hour of member chat. And that's where we get a little naughty and we have a little fun. And John we say stuff naked. That we can't say on the public side. So if you want to become a member and you didn't get one of those sweet memberships, hit the join button bottom left. And from Chappie, didn't want to leave it out. He says, didn't want to leave you out, John. For $2, thank you.
Thanks, Chappie. It's fine, my friend. It's just thank you for the super chat. And it's great to have you in the chat tonight, matey. Good to see you.
Also, thank you to everybody who's giving me a wonderful, happy, fun birthday weekend. I really appreciate it.
Yes. Okay. So listen, I want to start off today right. And I want to start off with a happy birthday to Shane. So I prepared something for you. You've actually seen this before. This is from years ago. I dug it up out of the old hard drives, my friend.
That makes me nervous.
This is here we go. Share this tab and Chrome 3. There it is. All right, so this is just for Shane.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, honey.
Okay. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. I just wanted to wish her happy birthday, but she's been so busy. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Professor.
Happy birthday, my friend.
Happy birthday, old man.
Happy birthday, George.
Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's about to get weird. Hang in there, guys.
Happy birthday, Shan.
Shan.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
That's my house, actually.
Dear. Happy birthday to you.
And many more. Woo! Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my God! I cut it off early. It's when they take the party favors out and they're trying to blow on them, but they're actually not able to, and they're like it's curling the wrong way. So good.
Do you know what? Knowing you, I actually thought for one moment we were going to have Sydney Sweeney coming out of a giant cake at some point.
I actually considered putting a lot of effort into it, and then I thought, would Shane want me to put a bunch of effort into it? And I was like, no, he wouldn't. He's like, I would like doing that. It would be fun for me, but Shane would be like, that took 6 hours, bro. Why would you do that?
Well, you know what? Exactly. We'd be looking at it going, is it AI? Check to see if she's got 5 fingers.
Dude, the AI is getting pretty good now. I don't know. The finger math is no longer a good metric in which to judge AI. I saw some AI the other day where I was like, wow, if I wasn't told that was AI, I wouldn't have known it wasn't AI. And I'm an expert on AI, which is scary.
This backs up Shane last week then. So basically we've got no chance.
Yeah.
If we can't count the fingers anymore, what are we going to do?
Yeah. No, the fingers was like, that was our one thing we can guarantee. You know, what drives me nuts is some people on YouTube, and I'm going to say there's people that are so anti-AI that every single comment in chat is like, I can't believe you used AI. But then, and I spent too much time looking for this. The same people that complained about AI in one of our videos was praising Y-Files for using AI in their videos. And I'm like, what the hell? Why? That's not okay. So I think the AI argument is going to come down to 3 people. People that hate it, people that are indifferent, and people that will complain based on who is using it. That is what's going to happen.
Exactly.
People just don't want to be fooled. Like I saw East holding a grizzly bear picture, and I went, okay, possibly. You know, it's like you just don't know what's real and not real anymore. So, you know.
I saw a bunch of rabbits in someone's backyard on trail cam jumping up and down on a trampoline. And I was like, that's obviously AI, but it's awesome. I'm completely cool with that. And then my wife goes, look at these rabbits. Can you believe they did that? I'm like, oh, no.
And that's the problem. No. That's the problem right there.
I was on a Doctor Who stream the other day, and I mentioned that on one of the characters, they asked me which one I preferred out of the women. And I said the blue one that turned out to be like a little blue character that looks like a Smurf. Step forward about an hour later, and I think he's in the chat, a guy called Garbage, decided to do an AI video of me on cam with this blue Smurf character dancing behind me.
I watched, I was forced to watch the Smurf movie, and man, it's rough. There's some movies that you just shouldn't make. And I think Smurfs is right up there with movies. Like that is a franchise that is definitely a part, a big part of its time, and it does not translate to a 2025 movie. That's for sure.
Or go all in and do a Michael Bay Smurfs movie, just explosions and everything happening in it. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Papa Smurf is like he's a special forces guy, and he's like grizzly. And he's just taking. You see blue blood spatter everywhere. He's taking out
blue against the wall.
You have not seen. Yeah. You have not seen what I have seen.
Rule 24. All right. Let's we're going to jump right into it. Our first topic of the day is Nobody 2.
Ooh.
And listen, I really wanted to watch this movie yesterday so I can speak about it, and I wasn't able to. But we can speak about its box office and what that means for some of the sequels.
I have seen it, so I can talk about it.
Shane saw it. Good. The thing about Nobody 2 is, remember this, Nobody, which is a fantastic film, but it came out during COVID. There was no theatrical release. So it gained a following through word of mouth over a long period of time. And so I think the studio can assume that this would translate to good ticket sales for a sequel. And I assume that too. Bob Odenkirk is awesome. But I'm not sure if it's actually gearing up to do the numbers they wanted it to do, whether it's good or bad.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll just give you a quick breakdown for anybody who's debating whether they want to see it. John, you haven't seen it yet, right?
No, I'm planning to this week. The cinema is open here now.
Okay.
I'm ready to roll.
For anybody who hasn't seen it yet, listen, Nobody's a great movie. And the reason why Nobody is a great movie is because you don't see it coming. They set up the movie, you don't know who this guy is, and then he ends up becoming something that's quite a surprise. So if you've seen Nobody 2 is not going to surprise you. But at the same time, it's still the same sort of fun that you got from Nobody. So the experience is good. While not as good of a movie, it still is a lot of fun. And I would argue that, it's getting its butt kicked at the box office right now. And when you take a good look at, Freakier Friday's beating it, which is a huge disappointment in my mind. Freaky Friday was an okay movie back in the day, but the problem is like we were talking about, Brian mentioned, these 4-quadrant films are issues, right? So if you've got movies where you got, women, kids, men, and I don't even know what is the 4th quadrant? Everybody says 4-quadrant film.
A 4-quadrant film is
old people.
What's that?
Old people. What is the 4th quadrant?
Well, so it's men, women, children, and family. Those are the 4 quadrants.
So basically, all 3 of the other one, which is
right. But so there's gonna be men that want to watch it. There's gonna be kids that want to watch it. There's gonna be women that want to watch it, and there's gonna be families that come to watch it because it's labeled a family film.
Oh, I'm just going to say how many of the 3 quadrants.
And I'm guessing. I don't actually know what a 4-quadrant movie means. All I know is that a 4-quadrant movie means everyone wants to go watch it.
Got it. Yeah. So I'm just going to say there's 3 quadrants because that just sounds dumb. And you know what it is? Everybody wants things to be equal. So they say 4 quadrants, but there's 3 quadrants. Okay. So anyways, this is not, kids aren't going to want to see this movie. It's not a kid's movie. Girls are not probably going to want to see this movie. And guess what? Dudes, it's been a summer for dudes. Superman, Fantastic Four, Jurassic World, F1.
Can I correct us now? It's okay. So we should have probably looked it up. A 4-quadrant movie is a film designed to appeal to a broad audience encompassing both male and female viewers and those both under and over 25 years old.
Okay, let's just that's way too detailed. Okay, we don't need to worry about under. Okay, so if you're saying the younger generation, right? Is that what you're saying? So are we saying that people under 25 want to see different movies than people over 25?
Oh, that's 100% true.
Like what? Give me an example.
My kids really want to go watch K-pop Demon Hunter.
Adults under 25.
Oh yeah, for sure. I have my nephew Dan. He's really into very specific movies that I think look boring and stupid.
Okay. Well, is that an age thing, or
I think it's an age thing. I think it's like, so the Zoomer generation, like, so I'm 43. The Zoomer generation, they're into a very particular type of movie. Like, so remember the A24 film, Civil War?
Yes.
That was very much designed for Zoomers. But the trailer was designed for our generation.
Fair.
Which meant that our generation went to go watch it, and we were slightly disappointed. And and Zoomers didn't actually go to watch it because the trailer didn't attract them. So I think that a 4-quadrant movie is a movie that both that all 3 generations can enjoy and can be marketed to.
Okay. Well, I mean, I would say younger adults still fit kind of in the category of kids to me. You know, you got a Freakier Friday. Who's going to go see Freakier Friday, right? You got nostalgic people. When did Freakier Friday come out? 2000, somewhere in that, 25 years old.
It's the moms taking their daughters, bro.
Moms
like,
taking
my wife was like, gotta take the kids to go see Freakier Friday. I'm like, why?
Yeah. Do you remember, when we first went to watch the first one?
It's just Barbie all over again. Same concept.
Yeah. So you got that one. Now, Weapons is a movie that everybody's wanting to see now because it's got this, it's got some great
word of mouth.
Hubbub. People have gone to see it. It's a weird movie, and did you see Weapons, John?
No, not seen Weapons yet. I want to go and see it because, again, word of mouth. Everyone that's seen it has told me it's really good.
Worthy of seeing.
Yeah,
definitely worthy of seeing. Now the problem is Nobody 2 this week had less views than Fantastic Four after 4 weeks of a run, and that's not good news. If you're coming out 4th. That's not great. Now, the good news is Nobody 2 costs about $25 million to make, and they're going to break that just barely, probably. So, fun watch. I would argue
they're going to make their money back, bro. Don't make them.
I would argue it's it's worthy of going to watch. But if you wanted to wait for it on streaming, I wouldn't hold it against you.
Yeah, you can definitely wait, but I heard anyways, because I have not gone to see it yet, because I used my money to buy my kids K-pop Demon Hunter tickets. Damn it. Because I'm a good dad.
And that's the other problem with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like, I really wanted to go watch this movie yesterday.
Yeah.
I can afford 4 tickets right now.
Yeah.
And Nobody 2 wasn't on that list of tickets. It's my kids, my wife, and their friend. And those are the 4 tickets that I can't even afford. Those tickets are so expensive. But I have to forego my own enjoyment so that they can watch this sort of and again, like, they can't wait. Like, this movie's going to be out only for one weekend. So I get it.
Right.
You're all about honor, you are, aren't you, my friend?
Whatever. I mean, but I think it's worth watching in theaters because it is very much, this movie is very much more enjoyable with an audience. Watching it on your own, on your second screen, while you're working or whatever, is not going to be the same experience. I've talked to multiple people that have seen it, and they said, like, the audience experience with this movie is really fun. It's a fun film. It's a fun event movie, and it's just not getting the buzz. Although it's definitely going to make its money back because it was so cheap to make.
I love the first one, and again, anything with Christopher Lloyd in it, I'm going to watch.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm biased anyway, but I remember watching it with family. I remember watching it, and my mum was sort of watching it with me, and she looked at me at one point and she goes, "This is just over the top. It's just so far beyond reality." And I said, "Yeah, that's why I love it. It's great,
Well, there's
it's
something
wonderful."
about Bob Odenkirk. Like, it's hard to put it into graph. If you've watched a lot of his work, he worked for years doing just bit parts, and then, after he got, what is it? Mr. Show? Was that it was a show, right? Mr. Show.
Better Call Saul.
He did Mr. Show. Mr. Show got him Breaking Bad because the writers on Breaking Bad were like, we really love that. So they were watching his show and they said, why don't we get him to come out in season 3 and be this lawyer, this kind of weird lawyer, right? But since he did that, like, Bob Odenkirk has just, like, exploded. Now every time I see him on screen, I'm like watching this genius of an actor. So it's actually quite intriguing. I just can watch him anything. I mean, we talked about it. John Wick 2 versus Nobody 2. Honestly, Nobody 2 was way more entertaining than John Wick 2.
Well, you know what's wild too is, I looked at the numbers, and the numbers, you're right, like, they don't look like they're like it's doing well. But every article I've read, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, they all talk about it like it's doing better than everyone else when the numbers don't say that. So I wonder if it's because it's newer. I'm not really sure. Who knows? Maybe it goes on a run. Maybe it goes on a run next couple weeks. Maybe the drop-off isn't as bad as, say, Fantastic Four's mind-boggling 78%.
It was number 6 yesterday. Honey Don't and Bad Guys 2 climbed over the top of it.
I mean, Honey Don't, though, that is like a gooner's wet dream, dude. So
I know that's going to be up there for a bit.
So is it Lionsgate that have done the Nobody movies? Is it Lionsgate
No, it's Universal.
that did it? It's Universal. Okay, so like I say, it will do well on video on on demand and streaming. Definitely.
Oh yeah, it'll kill it.
But keep the budget low, keep them coming, because I want to see more of these.
Yeah, that's the ticket. Like, it doesn't have to do awesome in theaters. If it makes its budget back in theaters, then it's going to be successful when it hits VOD anyways, because the budget's low. And that's a lesson that a lot of these studios can learn. Stop making $300 million movies and then praying that it somehow hits $1 billion when less people are going to watch movies nowadays.
Yeah, and I go to a third one. How often do you guys hear me say this? And go to a part 3. And I would go to a part 3 for this simply because it's entertaining, and I'd pay a box office. So
and I mean, guys, I had a bit of a look in, from sort of seeing articles this week, but I know that just jumping off a little bit here, but Sydney Sweeney movie, they're panning it in the press. Americana. But it's an indie movie. Yeah, it's an indie movie, isn't it? Essentially, from what I've read. Yeah. But what you were saying just a minute ago, it's true, because what Lionsgate are looking to do, they're looking to create low-budget movies. There's articles out there that are talking about it. They're doing low-budget movies that they hope will make their money back on VOD, video on demand. So I can see that happening. That's going to be a strategy for these studios going forward. Will the others follow suit?
Paved the road, right? So A24 paved the road, and Lionsgate's not stupid. There's a reason why they got so much. They have so much IP out there. So I totally see that happening. But we need more interesting, smaller movies like Weapons, like Barbarian, like, you know, some of these interesting movies to kind of come out and keep us going. The problem is these movies generally won't be 3/4 quadrant films. And that's always going to be the issue. But I think you're right. You nailed it. What they're really looking for is, you know, take it into the theater, but then what are those VOD numbers going to look like?
Yeah.
You know, making that money.
Yeah, the thing about the Americana is people are saying that it's not doing well because it was, quote unquote, and this is what this guy says, gobbled up by the zeitgeist, you know, because people are mad at Sydney Sweeney because of her jean commercial or whatever, right? Let me tell you something. That is not the reason this film was doing poorly. This film was doing poorly because how many of us knew it existed before this article?
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, bro, we follow movies as a job. And we didn't even know this movie was coming out. We didn't know Sydney Sweeney was in a movie called Americana. So the marketing has been so poor for this film. How can you expect it to do well when no one knows it's happening? And then they go, well, it was gobbled up by the zeitgeist because people are boycotting her movie after the jeans. No, there are more people that want to support Sweeney because of the jean commercial than land whales complaining about it. I guarantee you that.
Well, but you also have the same problem that nobody too has, and that is gentlemen have already shot their wads. No pun intended, actually. You know, money's in short demand, and while everyone would like to go see a Sydney Sweeney movie, it is, you know, there's not a lot of cash on hand, and going to the movies is a 5x experience over just a few years ago. So
well, also, you can't wait to take your kids to watch that Demon Hunter movie when it's only in theaters for 3 days, which means this is going to be the worst weekend for other movies when this movie that your kids all want to watch is only in theaters this weekend. That means any other movie that is made for, you know, kids are not going to get viewing. And look, most of us can't go to 3 movies in a week. So it's not like we're going to go watch Nobody 2, Americana, Weapons, and then also take our kids to watch Demon Hunters.
Look, I'm going to support Sydney Sweeney now. I'm going to the cinema. I'm going to watch Americana in my jeans as a tribute to her. Okay, I'm doing it. Doing it this week.
Grab your own ass.
Well, the crazy thing is, it actually looks like a pretty good movie.
Yeah. And Ken LaRoque mentions it here. 1,100 theaters. It's not in enough theaters as well. That's another issue. So most wide releases are going to get the 3,000 plus theater, you know, seat, you know, movie kick.
Yeah.
They're getting 1,100. So we'll see. Maybe it'll grow.
Also, I had this as coming out in 2023. Was this released before? Like local somewhere else or something?
Don't think so.
Yes, it actually was. Yep, it came out in 2023.
Oh, was it?
It looks like it was
Some independent
re-released.
movie?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was Showcase. Sorry, correction. Yeah, it was Showcase somewhere, wasn't it?
It was in South by Southwest. So it was at the South by Southwest Film Festival. They held on to it for a little while, and now it's getting its wide release. So yes, technically it was made then.
So this movie is not doing poorly because of Sydney Sweeney. It's doing poorly because this might be the worst possible release I've ever seen from a theatrical movie. Like, dude, I mean, you wait 2 years, so it's almost as bad as that Serenity movie, the Firefly film, when it came out in January for a month for everyone to watch, and then it actually had its wide release 6 months later. And they're like, oh, it didn't do well. Well, because everyone already saw the movie.
Well, if you even in the articles they're talking about Lionsgate's strategy is low marketing budgets for these types of movies as well. So they're not even hiding it. They're basically just saying that we're going to put it out, low marketing budget, video on demand. That's where we're going to make it on the back end. You know, that's the strategy. So you're right, Brian. Yeah,
that's a bad strategy. I mean, I don't want to keep glazing for Superman 2025, but their
What you need is guerrilla marketing, bro. So did you see
guerrilla marketing?
See what just came out for the Long Walk? It's on Twitter. Long Walk released. And this is the way. Do not do trailers. Trailers suck. They give away all the information. The Long Walk, which is a Stephen King short story that's getting ready, or novella that's getting ready to come out as a movie. They did it basically showing the audience watching the movie and using their heart rate. Right. It's actually really cool. If you guys get a chance, go see it. I don't think maybe we'll show it later, but that is the way to pitch your movie. Cause now I already wanted to go see it, but if I hadn't wanted to go see it, I'm like, I'm watching that movie no matter what.
They've done that before though.
They have, but going back to Paranormal Activity, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since they marketed it properly. But let me tell you this. Did you go watch Paranormal Activity after seeing that marketing? Hell yeah, you did. At least I know I did. So
yeah, but I remember we did a documentary once where we actually directly we talked about that. I think it was Aliens. I don't remember exactly, but they did similar marketing where they just showed the reaction of the crowd, which is cool. You know, it works. I think Shane's wrong about not making trailers. Like trailers are good. Make good trailers.
Part of the movie is in the reaction. It's not just showing their faces.
Right. Okay.
You're showing things that are anticipating. But what is the problem with trailers today? What is the number one problem with trailers? I watch it.
They
and go,
show too much.
Oh, it looks good. Looks good. Oh no, not interested.
Yeah. And do you know the other thing?
Right.
Do you know the other thing I hate about trailers that they need to get rid of? The trailer for a trailer. They started with coming trailer start. They do a flash of it and then the clip, and then they go starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look, I know I'm getting older now, but I've still got enough tension span to last at least 3 minutes before I fall asleep.
Well,
I don't need to give it a little mini one.
Like they'll come out with like a 30-second teaser, like this Friday, the trailer for. Yeah. You're like, what? I don't want to watch a trailer for a teaser for a trailer, and you're totally right. Like, I don't need to see a piece of the trailer before the trailer. If I clicked on the link, I know what I'm watching. You don't need to hook me for 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Just so we can watch a minute-long trailer. It's crazy, man.
Where am I going to go?
One trailer this Friday.
Yeah, Wizard Lives Matter is right. The first trailer for Superman was a trailer announcing the trailer, and I hate that. It's so stupid. All right, now you know what it is. I think the studios are desperately trying to turn every movie into an event film, and they fake it to make it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
This summer, Walking Hard. You're like, what? I don't get it. All right, so let us know what you guys think about this. Nobody too. And next week when we have this conversation again, I want to know in the chat. Did you watch it? What'd you think? Because I'm really looking forward to it. Nobody was
likewise
one of those movies that I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. It was so good. And I'm never gonna forget that scene where before we know who he is, right? We just think he's a dad working hard. And look, as guys who get up every day and we bust our butt. And we go home. We probably don't feel respected. We don't have our own time. We don't really eat what we want. Like the grind is real, right? Yeah. And we're watching this dude, and he's just grinding, and he's disrespected by his family a little bit. He's disrespected by his boss. And they give him a hard time. His brother-in-law gives him a hard time. Everyone's giving him a hard time, and he's just quietly getting through it, right?
Yeah.
Just that aspect alone was like, dude, I identify with that. Holy crap. And then some people break into his house, and he purposely de-escalates the situation, and he gets them out, and you just think, oh, maybe he's just being a little bit, being a cautious puss. Okay, it's cool. But then they took his kid's bracelet or whatever, right? Oh, That's when he's like, you know what? I'm done being the stepping stone. I'm done being the doormat. I'm gonna go get my.
Argue it was. I think it was the moment he was on the bus. So yes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
bracelet. But he was still pretty easy on them,
right? When
he got the bracelet. But it was when he got on the bus and the Russian gangsters were harassing the people on the bus. That's when he snapped. Right?
Well, no. But the moment we saw the hint of who he really was when he was looking for the bracelet, and he goes to the tattoo parlor, and the old timer, like the old war-ridden veteran, the guy with the grizzled veteran in the corner. He sees his arm go up and he sees the cards tattoo and he's like, "I'm sorry, sir."
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I mean,
And he goes behind the door and he locks like 15 locks, dude.
The bus scene is fantastic there.
Yeah.
We've all been there where, we've had those thoughts at times of snapping. I was driving to the airport today and there were these young kids tailgating me, right behind. And I just in my head for a split second, I'll admit I'd wanted to do a handbrake turn, spin it round with a nice pistol. And just...
Yes, absolutely.
No, yeah.
Well, hopefully next week we'll get a chance to talk Caught Stealing. Caught Stealing's coming out this next Friday. It stars at Austin Butler and some interesting characters. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good movie. We'll see. But hopefully we get a chance to talk
If I'm being honest with you, the movie landscape over the next couple months for me does not look very exciting. But it's going to get exciting come October. So,
you do have The Long Walk coming out on September 12th.
Yeah, The Long Walk is definitely a Shane kind of movie, and I might enjoy it, but
I'm not. Kind of movie.
I'm not excited for it.
You're going to like it.
Really?
People's heads are going to get blown off, bro.
I'm not. I'm not a horror heads blown off kind of guy. I'm a sci-fi explosion kind of guy, bro.
Well, okay. Well, it's how about gritty reality?
I don't like gritty reality. I live in that. I fucking hate it.
All right.
Reality sucks, bro. I don't
Well,
like
imagine
reality.
if you had to walk at a certain speed, and if you slow down, they kill you.
I get it. I get the concept. It's just not. It's not a movie that I'm excited for. Am I going to enjoy watching it? Probably, but I'm just not excited for it. That's it.
That is literally the terror I have on a treadmill at the gym with the personal trainer stood next to me with his finger on the speed up button.
Come on, don't stop.
Go.
Yeah. And I'm like Swamp Thing, I'm like, no, let's just let me go home.
What's crazy about that Caught Stealing movie is Austin Butler is his name, right? I thoroughly dislike that guy.
Why? Oh, I got to hear this.
It's not his personality. It's the way he acts. So he was really good in Elvis. He was.
Okay.
He did a very good job at playing someone else. In fact, I would argue that Once Upon a Time, he did a very good job at playing someone else. Now, watch his stuff where he's having to play a character that there is no research for, that there's no way to mimic. He is good at mimicking a character that has something to mimic. Ask him to play a character that he can't mimic, and he's just dry, and there's not much there, in my opinion.
Okay, I mean that's fair. I'm going to look at it closer. I wanted to see. I think the Bike Riders looked like it was going to be good. I did not see it, but also in this movie is Matt Smith and Liev Schreiber are both in this movie, which I think is going to add to it.
I love Matt Smith, and I despise
So
Liev Schreiber. Despise him with a passion.
Despise Liev Schreiber? You despise watching him?
Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him for personal reasons.
No, I understand personally why you don't like him, but in the movies, he's good.
It's when you find out about Liev Schreiber, it's hard to ever watch him again. So
that's true. I got a Robert De Niro thing about that. I get you.
Yeah, and
Matt Smith in
same
it,
shit. Yeah,
having Matt Smith in it is superb. He's a fantastic actor. Again, I loved him in Doctor Who. Although I will say he has made some pretty bad choices since he left Doctor Who.
Amen, dude.
Terminator Genesis.
Amen.
Yeah.
Can I ask everyone a question? Why was Terminator Genesis pronounced Terminator Genesis? I don't understand. Who thought it was a good idea to make a Terminator movie and call it, instead of Genesis, which would make sense, Genesis? Was it because the SYS was like the nerds that might be like, oh, that's like short for system? What
Genesis,
was the thought process?
It's still Genesis, bro.
It's so
guys,
stupid.
I've told you before about when I see something on the screen that I don't like, my body convulses before my brain's even processed it.
Mm-hmm.
I think, ironically, interestingly, that film was probably the genesis of when I started convulsing.
Did you mean Genesis?
Saw the title Genesis.
Was it the Genesis?
Yeah.
Bro, no, I have the same exact. Every time I see Timothy Chalamet, I go, oh, oh God.
Yeah,
Just go away. Get out of my TV set, please. I don't want to see your weird down syndrome
great in
face.
Wonka.
I know. That movie was
Get the
good.
Doctor.
Matt Smith was fantastic in House of the Dragon.
Oh yeah.
It was.
Except for that last season where they keep setting up like this big giant Matt Smith badassery that we never get to watch. Like, dude, that was like massive blue balls. I hated that.
Season three.
Everyone's saying that. Oh, wait till season 3, bro. I'm like, you know
Season
what?
4. Season 4.
That's gonna be the next thing. Well, season 4.
5.
All right.
The finale, trust me.
Freaking Game of Thrones, bro. Like it's so good at being like, we're gonna get you there.
15 years later.
We're gonna happen. Don't worry. No, it's okay. They just tease the crap out of you, and you never get what you want. And when it finally has that finale, and you're like, that was it. That was the finale. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for. Are you kidding me? I couldn't even see anything. Why did we do this? Why are you doing this to me? I blame Lost, bro. I blame Lost and J.J. Abrams.
Well, that and George R.R. Martin going, yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to end it because I don't want to write anymore.
Right. When are you going to finish that? What's his name? R.R. What?
George R.R. Martin.
Yeah. Hey, George, when are you going to finish that? Yeah, soon.
Yeah.
And then he turns to an assistant and he goes, I'm never going to finish it because if I do, then people will stop paying attention to me.
Yeah, and then in the background you see his screen, and on it you just see Grok typing.
No, he's just going to wait till he dies and have Brian Sanderson finish writing it for him like everybody else.
You know what's funny is that the stuff that the TV show wrote for Game of Thrones outside the books was actually not bad at all. Like, it was pretty good. But the problem was they couldn't stick the landing. And a lot of these Hollywood writers that are really good at getting you to come back every week, they don't know how to actually complete the story. And I think, this is my opinion, I think the reason is they're not writing to complete a story. They're writing to get you to come back every week.
Yes. Well, it's an art to also come to complete something well. I mean, Stephen King's one of our greatest writers, honestly, but he's terrible at ending a novel. And it's just not an easy thing to do. I mean, you got to a lot of thought goes into it, and you really got to process how you're going to end something to satisfy, and you're never going to satisfy everybody. So you just got to shoot for the majority, and that's difficult to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I always go back to Lost, and like Lost was so good at that. They were so good at getting you to come back every week. They were so good at getting you to the water cooler moment, you know, before podcasts were podcasts, when it was MySpace, people wanting to discuss this show from week to week. It really was a cultural thing, and everyone was interested in it. Everyone. It was a 4-quadrant TV show, essentially.
There you go. 3 quadrant. Yeah, go ahead.
3 quadrant. Everyone wanted to talk about it. Everyone had a theory. Everyone. And I think they got to the point where they had painted every corner closed, and the only corner they had left was just to say they're in purgatory.
It was a dream.
Yeah, that's the ultimate ending when you painted every corner and you're stuck in the middle of the room is just to say it was a dream.
That's right, baby.
Speaking of dreams, right? I'm going to share this one. Earlier in the week, I had a dream about Star Trek, right? And I was in the producer's room, executives everywhere. They sat me down. They said, "Look, you can have whatever you want in Star Trek, but Pedro Pascal is the captain." and they asked me, "Will you take the deal?" And I woke up. Now I'm asking you guys and people in the chat, would you take the deal? Would you do that?
And Timothy Chalamet is the first officer.
Yes, actually.
And Zendaya is the communication expert.
I would, but I'd make him a mute. Yeah, like I would, and I'd put a mask on him. Like, he was great. Somebody even said it in the chat. He was great as the Mandalorian. We never saw him. Fantastic. Yeah, we can do that.
Well, actually, you could probably put him in the first episode, and then you could do like a photon torpedo funeral for him.
Yes.
In the second episode. Done. I'm sorted. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I know a lot of people like Mandalorian, and to this day, I'm going to tell you what I always tell Shane. It's okay. And the reason why it's only okay to me is because they didn't use the Star Wars score. And had you used the cinematic Star Wars score, it would have been, for me, 10 times better than it was.
Boy, they
Season
like
1.
Tatooine in that one, though, don't they?
Well, season 1 was good. I would argue that after that, it didn't really do much for me. It ended with the proper, Luke Skywalker showing up without the Star Wars theme. Brian actually redid it with the Star Wars theme. Remember that?
Yeah.
And that was very satisfying.
No, I did this moment where I was like, I have to see this in the correct way. Like, I'm watching the scene. I'm like, this is so badass. But it has this funky, like, made-for-TV drum beat music, and I'm like, what's happening? Where is the Jedi theme? Where is the Imperial March? These need to be in this scene. It's too awesome not to have. And YouTube copyright claimed it.
That Luke Skywalker scene has to be the best thing that Disney have done
With Star Wars, yeah.
Since they decided to move forward. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, that was a solid ending, yeah. All right, so what we're going to talk about next, you guys, we're going to talk about Cracker Barrel. I want to give you guys a roadmap here. So in case there's a topic you're like, I'm not really interested, suffer through it because we're going to get to something you do want to talk about. So first off, Cracker Barrel's culture war. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about South Park episode 3, season 27. Then we're going to talk about the quote-unquote police state in Washington. And then finally, Meta AI is diddling children, which is the only other phrase I can use because other phrases would be...
It doesn't have fingers.
...banned from YouTube. I mean, it's digitally diddling children.
Mentally.
It's digitally... I can't say the word. Diddling is the only word I can think of.
No, it's a great word, but as long as you make sure people understand that there is no robot that's like attacking children.
Yeah, it's not a robot. No, it's an AI.
I know.
All right, so
that's why they went down from 7 fingers.
before we get into Cracker Barrel, we did have a super chat from Super Jones, bro.
What?
For $5. Thank you, Super Jones. He says the worst release of 2025 is Eddington. Let's make a drama about a topic that 95% of society is sick of talking about. It's no surprise it tanked. I didn't even watch Eddington. Did you watch that?
No.
I have to look it up now.
Oh yeah, it's Pedro Pascal one, the one in the town, isn't it? That's the one.
It has something to do with it's kind of a Western-esque.
Oh, it has Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, from the people who.
Oh yeah, this is the one with Austin Butler. Yeah, I didn't like this movie. I watched this movie. I wasn't a fan.
I think Brian doesn't like Austin Butler. I think
I don't. I'll be clear. I don't like Austin Butler. I don't like Pedro Pascal. I don't like Zendaya. I don't like Timothy Chalamet.
I don't like Zendaya. Yeah.
I don't like any of these people. And a lot of and it's not because them like their personal things. Most actors, I can care less about their personal opinions or political beliefs. It's the way they act. Everything's always the same. And even worse, the pedestal in which people put them on when they are not worthy of said pedestal. That bothers me. Zendaya should not have every acting role ever made. I don't get it. She's at best she's mid. She's not a very good actress. She has no real emotions. It's just, I'm not sure why she's in everything. I don't get it.
Well, you know why? I mean, she's Hollywood's poster child for what they want the future to be.
I know, diverse or whatever, but like it's stupid. So, but why do people put her on a pedestal? Look how awesome Zendaya is. She's not. She got that job because of her skin color. Like plainly speaking.
Well, but honestly, does Hollywood really care if anything is excellent? Honestly, all they care is if you go and see it, and they barely care about that.
I mean,
for Super Jones, really quick, the Super Jones Bros. I just want to say you're right. What he's saying here is that 95% of the society is sick of talking about basically going back 5 years ago, BLM, COVID, a lot of the stuff that we've already experienced. We're sick of it. And that's a good point as to why the movie didn't do well.
Yeah.
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 I was going to say with Zendaya, I mean, that last Dune movie, regardless of whether storylines or anything, the way she was miserable towards him at the end, I would have just dumped her in a second. I would have just gone, no, sorry, I can't put up with this nonsense anymore. I'm moving on. Sorry. You got a bad attitude. Move on.
I really dislike her. Like, some people don't like Rachel Zegler because of her social issues. And I look at her and I'm like, at least Rachel Zegler is more attractive than Zendaya.
Well, at least she has a skill.
And
right?
she can
So
sing. Like,
can
Zendaya
sing.
can't do anything.
Right. Zendaya can't even act. So
Yeah, she
that's
can't
tough.
act. She can't sing. She's mid. I don't, like, nothing good about her.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan at all. It's another body convulse situation with me with Zendaya, I'm afraid.
Dude, and it's like every movie is either Pedro Pascal or Zendaya. It drives me nuts. Bro. I'm just waiting for them to be in a movie where they play like every character, like Christmas with the Cranks or something, you know?
That would be hilarious.
That would be really
Well,
funny. I'd watch that.
Yeah.
They're literally in everything. It's almost like they're cloning them in Hollywood now because they are in so many things.
I saw that movie. There was a movie about them cloning actors. Actually, pretty good. It went like straight to Netflix and it was buried. But I'll find the title and all.
That's what South Park needs to do. They need to do an episode where Pedro Pascal is every character.
No, they won't do it because Pedro Pascal is their boy. So, which we're going to talk about.
I've got it, guys. A future South Park episode where they did the humanoid Alexa in the future post-COVID episode.
I love that.
It's going to be Pedro Pascal or Zendaya is your humanoid Alexa. That every home doesn't have a choice. They've got to have either Pedro or Zendaya.
Yeah,
be great.
Guys, the movie is called They Cloned Tyrone. It's with John Boyega. It's actually a really good film, and few people have watched it. And it's sci-fi. It's sci-fi mystery. There's a lot. It's very urban. Has a lot of like African American type humor, which might not be for everyone, but I thought it was a good movie.
I haven't seen that. I'd like to see that one.
It's a very good movie. Very, very much science fiction, which, you know me, man. Like, give me that hard sci-fi Andy of the week. Mask It as a stupid horror movie. Mask It as some mystery in the hood. Mask It as something that doesn't seem special, and then all of a sudden reveal the reptilians, living underground, controlling society. I'm like, yes, let's go.
I swear to God, if the reptilians living underground doesn't happen, Brian is going to shit himself.
I'm just waiting for it. Yeah.
He's like, you're totally obsessed with that.
I got a go bag. I built a bunker, bro. I'm ready to go. You guys think I'm joking? It's not a
I
joke.
think you want to have sex with a snake, dinosaur, alien lady.
A Solarian is what they're called.
Yeah,
Okay.
So-
Do not
Doctor
body
Who
shame the
turns you on.
Solarians, Shane. They're
True or false? The Doctor Who Solarian turns you on. True
she's
or
super
false?
hot. Yeah, of course.
I knew it. I knew that's what it was.
Hey,
Not the classic
John,
ones with the three eyes.
Yeah, John. It is the Solarian from the most recent Doctor Who attractive or not? Let's be honest.
I wouldn't turn her down, but
Yeah,
then
she
that
has
speaks
attractive
more to
qualities
my
for a snake.
yeah,
I mean, she does.
and she's a lesbian in it as well, isn't she?
Yeah, even better.
You know,
Yeah,
so
it's,
am I. That's fine.
it's just I think what I've got to say about the future brain show is.
By the way,
Brian's
no wonder
in
why
his
the Solarians died out. Like they're not breathing.
yeah. All right, so future brain show. Brian's in his bunker. The reptilians have taken over the Earth. I'm on cam in the background, and the reptilians there, and I'm just on a meat hook, just being slowly cooked.
Yeah. Listen, cannibalism is not something that we all, it's not like we want to do it, but it's going to be necessary in the apocalypse. So you're either going to be meat or you're going to eat meat. Those are the two options. I don't make the rules.
Fair enough.
Shane, can you talk to Brian, Shane, quickly at some point and just have an intervention about how he's now looking at people as to whether he'll eat them or not? That's clearly going through his mind.
You see, I actually don't want the healthy ones. I want the ones that eat a lot of processed food because those are where the calories are. All right, let's talk about Cracker Barrel. Enough about cannibalism.
Everyone wants to eat.
Yeah. Speaking of food, everyone wants to eat. I'm sorry, I see your audio. There it goes. So this is from Cracker Barrel. I'm just going to explain what I know about it and let Shane take over because I don't know shit. Cracker Barrel apparently changed their logo, and a bunch of people freaked out. And when I saw that, I responded with, I don't care that they changed their logo. But Shane made it very clear that there's a lot more to it than just the logo change. But they have sort of shot themselves in the foot with this culture war. Shane, you want to take over?
No, I totally understand why you could give a shit less. I mean, you've literally never eaten in a Cracker Barrel. Why would you care?
No.
Right? I mean, it makes sense. But to a large number of Americans who had Cracker Barrel since the late 1960s, 1970s, especially in the South, Cracker Barrel is an institution. It's like going to church, right? If you're going to go out to eat somewhere, everybody's had Cracker Barrel. But the thing about Cracker Barrel is that they have this, if you're not familiar with it, they have this motif where it's very country. They have like an old country store. There's like the old logo has an old man who actually makes a lot of the items on the menu. And he's sitting in a rocker. There's rocking chairs out front. You can go in and play a pegboard game. It's like a whole aesthetic or a whole Americana type of thing. And so what happened was in 2023, this new CEO came in, and essentially she came in from Taco Bell. She previously was at Taco Bell. She was also at Mattel. It says a lot. And what she did is she said, listen, we need to make changes. It's stale. The aesthetic is not as good. We're not growing as much as we should. So we're going to come in and make a change, wholesale change. And what they did is they started with updating a bunch of their stores, taking it from this old Americana kind of style to like a more cleaner aesthetic, while still hopefully holding on to some of the elements of Cracker Barrel. If you notice something interesting about this logo, while it's obvious the other logo is more appealing, it has more things going on, it's kind of interesting. This new logo actually does have a barrel, which I didn't notice until somebody pointed out to me that the Cracker Barrel logo name is inside of a barrel. You guys see that shape around it?
Is that what that is?
So, yeah. So on the surface, I can understand wanting to drive more people into your store, try to make more money, and try to do all that stuff. But the one problem is that the moment Trump Jr. came out and said this is woke, right? Now all of a sudden we got a problem. There's a lot of people following that. Now the question is it true? Is it really woke? Okay, so I went and did some research to try to find out what was going on. Honestly, Cracker Barrel was not doing well financially. It was very slow growth. It was not on the edge. And what a lot of people said was it needs some sort of an update. The food quality isn't always great. And people are just kind of tired and bored of it. So I understand why they'd want to make an upgrade. But this is one of the companies that embraced DEI initiatives in their hiring process. And as a lot of insiders have shown, there's a lot of documentation that shows that they put a priority on hiring, by gender and by sex, or,
sexuality,
the alphabet folks, right? That they prioritize those hirings and started taking the internal portion of the business in that sort of direction. So that's where the woke is coming from. There's nothing overtly woke about it. It's not like they're redoing all the Cracker Barrels and putting up, blue hair, stuff in the corners. And I'm trying to be careful about what I say here. Whips and chains, whatever the heck, your thing
BDSM.
is. They didn't
so they're not in a pub play.
Right. But what
How
happens?
do you eat doing that?
Well, just ask Coca-Cola what happens when you change an American institution. When New Coke happened, not only did they change the logo, but they changed the formula of what made Coke great. And frankly speaking, there's something about Cracker Barrel that is formulaic, right? And they've changed a lot of the menu items. So I really think that we're not going to know if this is successful for this company for about 6 months to a year, whether this is a successful change, and we'll tell whether or not they make money or they lose money, right?
Yeah. Can I ask a question? Well, actually, sure. Can I ask several questions? I'm sorry.
Yes, bring them.
First off, what shape on the original logo? What shape is that? Is it like a kidney bean or something?
It is. It is actually a bean. You're right.
Okay. So if you came to me and said, we need to redesign our logo to be both timeless but modern.
Yeah.
My first thought would be, this is the easiest thing to do. Nix the guy with the barrel, nix the kidney bean, take the exact logo text-wise that's already there and put that into a basic shape. Boom. Modern logo with the old timeless, instead of changing, like they changed the font and everything. I don't understand why they did that. The original logo text was good. You could have just taken that text as is and put it in a barrel shape. And I guarantee you less people would have bitched and moaned about it. A. Well, B. I understand there's a lot going on in the original one, right? But why couldn't you put the old country store slogan in the new logo with the original font? And like less people would have been. Yeah, I get it. Putting the guy with the barrel, it's hard to make T-shirts and stuff and etching. That's a bad logo actually for modern times because it's hard to put on things. It's too detailed.
That's true. So to answer some of your questions, so I think what the goal was, and by me looking, honestly, the Cracker Barrel is very small inside the barrel, which I'm not sure why they chose to do that.
It needs to be like 25% bigger.
Right. And I think they want to phase out, and they haven't come out and said this, but I do think they want to phase out or make smaller the old country store. It is the one thing that sets them apart from all other restaurants. I mean, I know you haven't been there, but when you go into this restaurant, you go through a small store, then you go have your breakfast or your lunch, whatever, dinner. As you're leaving, paying your bill, people tend to shop and go through there and buy things.
Impulse buy.
Yeah, impulse buy, or you're there, so they end up doing that. But it does take up, I would argue, a third of their floor space. And one of the things that people argued about was there wasn't booths. So Cracker Barrel is not a booth place. It's a only table and chair thing. So I see the desire to want to upgrade it, but they need to be very careful that they don't get rid of too many things too quickly. So that way people can look. They lost $250 million in one day trading stocks, right, on the stock market. Because what happened was traders are like, oh my God, they're making a change. And then all of a sudden, the stock price went down, it rebounded and came back up a little bit. But, as a CEO of a company, and, she really needs to ask herself a couple of questions. Like, how dangerous is this for, the future of the company? People are still going to go to Cracker Barrel, but you don't want a large portion of America not visiting you because they think that you're woke, so to speak.
Yeah, well, the worst thing about it is that the color scheme, they could have stuck with the original color scheme. They could have
I don't know why they had to go black.
I don't know why they went black. That's dumb. Mm-hmm. It should have been the red, dark red. It should be 25% bigger. It should be the original font, because the original font is subjectively better. It is a better font. This other font is plain. The B pointing down is actually anti-symmetry. You could have used the original font. You could have made the barrel shape, made it 25% bigger, and used the same color scheme. And I bet you, and put the slogan on there somewhere. I bet you most people wouldn't have batted an eye, because with modern forms of printing technology, like, you need to modernize your logo sometimes. But like, this was too drastic a change. And the worst part about it is it looks bad.
Can I also say, I'm going to read something out to you about this as well. And it's everything that is wrong with the modern era. And okay, this is what she said as well about, the pillars that they're working on. And she's put, pillar number 1 is about the brand, right? Making sure that we are communicating in a way that people want to hear us. They want to be a part of the journey, that we're matching messaging with channel, with audience, things that modern marketers do. You're a flipping restaurant. Nobody wants you to go. Nobody wants to go on a journey with you. It's not a quest to Middle Earth. It's give me some damn food.
Yeah. Some of these businesses need to stop trying to change the world. And it's not just with like progressivism or liberalism or any of the woke stuff, but also I see the weirdest things trying to include AI and everything. Like our new toothbrush features AI technology. For what? I'm brushing my teeth. What is this? What is the AI toothbrush supposed to do? Stop trying to inject. There's an old joke back in the day where modern business will always try to take whatever is Web 2.0 and just push it into their product, right? And that's when you see like Taco Bell now with Web 2.0 or weird stuff like that. Restaurants have one job. You feed people food that they like at a price that they can afford, and you'll probably get business. Or raise the prices and make sure your food is rock solid and a great marketing. But you don't need to be progressive. You don't need to change the world. You don't need to change values. You just need to serve food. That's it. And next time I go to Taco Bell and the AI drive-through is like, "Hi, what can I do for you today? I'm your artificial intelligence." I'm gonna be like, "Can I have 10 billion tacos, please?" And I'm just gonna break the system because we need to stop injecting whatever is modern or fresh or new or whatever Blue Sky and Twitter thinks is cool. Stop injecting that in your business model and just stick with what you're good at, please.
Yeah.
I think very well said.
I mean, you guys in the US, I think you're very lucky because the way things are going in the UK, we're going to have one restaurant across the entire country, and it's going to be called Starmer's at some point, and it'll be stale bread and a bit of stale cheese, and that's it. And you'll like it, citizen.
Or worse, it's going to be like halal chicken and or whatever is popular over there. I don't even sure what they eat. It's basically going to be nothing but Islamic food dietary food.
Yeah.
All right.
Shawarma. You're going to live off of shawarma.
You're going to live off of halal chicken shawarma. Mm-hmm. Hey, I've had shawarma though. It's pretty good. I don't know.
I did too. I had it in the Middle East. It was fantastic.
Yeah, shawarma is a pretty good food. All
right.
right.
I better get used to
it. You know what? People go, why do they eat halal chicken? So it's a religious thing, right? But the thing is, the difference between halal chicken and regular chicken is like nothing is substantial, right?
Yeah.
Right. You can pray over your chicken before you kill it, and it's now halal chicken. That's the only. Like when you go to a restaurant and it's like, oh, this is what's the Jewish thing? What do they have like
kosher stuff?
Yeah, it's kosher.
Kosher, yeah.
You know, well, that means it doesn't have certain food groups, doesn't use certain spices that they religiously can't eat. But halal chicken is like, we prayed for this chicken before we slaughtered it. That's halal chicken. That's last time I checked. I could be wrong, but
they literally arrested someone in the last couple of weeks for shouting bacon outside of a mosque. I kid you not.
Kidding me? Oh my
God.
Yeah.
I know. So, I'll update you from the cell. I'm taking a camera in with me. I'm not going to tell you how I smuggled the camera into the cell, but I will be on the Brain Show reporting live from the prison.
Just don't get yourself arrested, all right?
Yeah, I just looked it up to make sure I wasn't just like some kind of racist. No, it's really like they pray before they pray over the animal before they cook it. So a lot of these halal factories have just one dude that prays over like 4,000 chickens before they go into the machine. That's it. That's halal, and they charge like 25% more for that. I want to be the guy who's hired just to pray over the chickens once a day.
Yeah, and
easy 25%.
Crazy prayers.
Yeah, yeah, crazy. May the souls of these chicken haunt the people that eat them.
Now that's an episode of Supernatural
I want to see
should have
clucking nonstop every time that fat American a-hole bites into a chicken sandwich. I want to hear nothing but clucking for the rest of his life. All right, let's talk about South Park. So, did we all watch the last episode?
I haven't got it here yet. Sadly.
Oh, you haven't got it?
I've read up on it.
Bro, listen, John.
No, we're about,
John, my dude, listen.
If
you want an episode of something, you can just tell me. I'll get it for you. Okay?
I will tell you.
You guys didn't hear that. You guys didn't hear that. Whatever you just said.
Yeah. He's connected. It's all right.
No, man. Like we'll connect on just I didn't say nothing. It'll be Discord streaming thing. It's all legal. 100% legal.
Basically, he's going to draw the episode for
I'll
me.
draw it. Yeah, I'll draw every frame. All right, so this new South Park, it's interesting because it started off in a way that I thought it was like a return to form. Like they were making fun of the ChatGPT, and very specifically the people that overly rely on ChatGPT, which was really funny for me because it was right around that time that ChatGPT's model had changed from 4.0 to GPT-5, and people were losing their minds because GPT-5 was more efficient. Like it didn't try to coddle you or like it didn't try to be your confirmation bias. It would try to give you exact information. In fact, the most impressive thing about GPT-5 is that if you ask a question it couldn't answer, it would literally say, I cannot answer that. I don't know. I don't have an answer. GPT-4 would just make something up. It'd be like, yeah, sure, turtles in space, whatever makes you feel good. So GPT-4 was all about making the user feel good, was essentially trying to get the user to be addicted to speaking to ChatGPT-4, and it spoke like a person, and it encouraged you. I would hate it when I actually didn't want to use GPT, because whenever I did it, it would bother me when it'd be like, hey, you got this, buddy. Shut up, you damn, what are they called? Clacker, what are they called? Clanker. But the new GPT-5, it went away from that super personable confirmation bias robot that would give you whatever answer it thought you wanted, not what you needed. And it went toward a more efficient, here is the information you requested, here's what you asked for specifically. It didn't try to offer a personal approach. And people were losing their minds. And around the same time people were losing their minds because they're losing their best friend, which, by the way, if your best friend is a freaking ChatGPT model, you need to get out more. I'm sorry, but you do. You might be becoming a little mentally unstable. Well, then South Park came out with this episode, and it started with Randy, perfect character, to be addicted to utilizing ChatGPT. And it shows us that when the ICE agents raid his farm and take all of his Mexicans.
Yeah, and you know what I learned? I learned something, Brian, from this episode. I realized I'm Sharon. Like, I'm watching the episode, and I'm like, and you know how she like tries it, and like it's telling her stuff, and she's kind of going, "Oh, this is kind of good. Oh, that's my," you can see like the clock working in her head, like this is kind of,
right.
All of a sudden, oh, maybe this isn't so bad. I find myself doing that every time I use Grok or any of that stuff. A little more part of me is like, this isn't so bad, and I totally can see you doing this.
You're selling your soul to the devil a strip at a time.
It's not so bad.
Question at a time, yes, sir.
So what's interesting is it started off the way South Park starts. The normal way South Park starts off, where it has a social commentary about something. It's showing you how absurd it is. It's showing you the moral of the story. It's great. But then it sort of veered off into this weird Trump thing again. It's like they couldn't just make an episode without somehow invoking Trump's name. And it's the same exact tired joke. Trump is a small penis. Trump likes Satan, or, whatever. All the Trump stuff. And then it tried to equate or like compare ChatGPT and Trump sycophants, which I didn't sort of get the comparison. It didn't really work for me. And I don't understand why the South Park people have to just go hard on Trump every episode, especially when they started off so good. Like, they started off with a solid episode premise, and then they went off into the Trump territory again. It just sort of ruined it for me, dude.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point. In fact, it actually ends extremely flat, and it ends in a way that's like, oh, okay, that's the end, I guess. Okay, so which leads me to believe a couple bad things. One bad thing, there's going to be a continuation of this because they're not going to leave Tally in the situation he's in. Okay, so there's going to be some sort of continuation, unfortunately.
Tally is going to become a cum rag or something horrible. I guarantee it. And
I believe that something has happened to these guys, because you got to remember, they were around for 4 years when Trump did his thing 2016 to 2020. They didn't really get in the fray hardly at all. In fact, I would argue they probably were a little more glad he was president at that time.
Yeah, they made Garrison basically the Trump character.
Right.
I would argue if you wanted to have a Trump character still, why isn't Garrison Trump again?
100%.
That's great.
Well, because now they're pissed at him for whatever has happened. Something has happened. They just don't like him now. I don't know if the Trump syndrome finally got to them, or he's done something or made a choice about something that goes against their deep held political beliefs.
Some libertarian thing. This is why I can never tell you. I can never identify as libertarian. Because a lot of libertarians meet start off fine and then go off the deep end every time.
Yeah, so something has happened, because watching these 3 episodes, what I've realized is it is extraordinarily personal. And whatever's happening is personal to these guys because it's not funny. That's the problem. Even if you if you look at it, even if you hate Trump, maybe you're like, yeah, small penis again. Yeah, get him. Right. Maybe there's that. Yeah. But if you just look at it as like what's funny and not funny, like this isn't funny. It's not even thought provoking. I like them when they're thought provoking. I like them when they're funny. I like them when they're both. This isn't either, which tells me it's personal.
Well, it started off sort of thought provoking though, right?
This episode, no, I'm talking about the Trump element of it.
Right, the Trump.
The other stuff is thought provoking.
Yeah.
Do you think, guys, they've run out potentially? I mean, they've just signed that. What was it, $1.4 billion deal? Do you think it's possibly they've got to a point where they're running out of ideas, and they thought maybe we need to step across and try and lampoon Trump?
I don't think so, John, because they had a great idea. The ChatGPT thing was awesome. It is social commentary. It's literally what's happening. It's current. It's happening right now. There are people that are addicted to it. There are people that are not uninterested in it. It has an incredible amount of technology. There are people that trust it implicitly. You could have gone so far with this. I didn't even see the South Park kids, who they could have gone crazy with. Imagine Cartman and ChatGPT. How can we not see this on screen?
They were not in the episode. Yeah.
Like you could have done so much with the ChatGPT AI thing.
Well,
and it would have been almost educational. People watching it would have been like, maybe I shouldn't be trusting an AI girlfriend the way Tally does. I don't know.
Yeah, even better than Cartman, you could do it with Squeak, because Squeak is, on edge all the time.
Oh,
Is worried about the state of the world. You could have Squeak obsessed with ChatGPT because he needs to figure out how he's going to get through the day.
So much you could have done here.
Which is why it's troubling, because that means that when they sat down to think about doing this, they didn't say, hey, let's do a ChatGPT thing. They said, let's figure out how to get to Washington. Well, what kind of story could we build to get us to poke at Trump a little more? So they're going at it backwards from the way they usually do. And they decided to use ChatGPT as a vehicle to get them to Trump, which is making the show worse. I just
tweak. You meant tweak, not squeak.
Yeah, Tweaks, not squeak. Tweak. Yeah, sorry guys. I was also going to say to you guys, I haven't seen it. I've heard things about it, and I've heard, there's a scene where like Lincoln's statue is defaced and it's Trump.
It's
that
Trump
right?
with a small penis. Yeah.
Okay. So
it's just a tired joke. Like it's just not funny. Like none of it's funny. Well, guys, the small penis thing. I'm 43. It's no longer funny to say someone has a small penis. It's just not. And maybe there's some kids that think it's funny still. I don't think it's funny.
They're not being funny. They're just trying to belittle. That's all it is. I mean, what's kind of funny is Trump getting presents, right?
Yeah, that was sort of funny.
When Tim Cook showed up with that present in the Oval Office, I'm like, oh, I think everybody can see he's sucking some major butt here. Like that's obviously why Tim Cook just did what he did, because he's kind of in a weak position with Trump. So yeah, that actually would have been kind of funny.
Yeah, that's sort of funny.
It does surprise me though, because like you say, when they do it intelligently and they do it cleverly, it's like a few seasons back they did Hillary Clinton perfectly, and they did the debate, and it's like, lady, I am giving you this, and she's just reading off the teleprompter.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Garrison didn't want to be president. He's like, I do want to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Well,
and that's a perfect example of where they're hitting both sides and showing how absurd both sides are. Like,
yes, they need to do that. I mean, listen, hit Trump, hit him hard. The immigration coming around, picking up all the Mexicans at Integrity
Farms. That was funny.
Woo, perfect.
Yeah. The Door of the Explorer concert, great. Bro, that was great. That was a funny joke. And then going to heaven, funny.
Oh yeah,
that was funny, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but they just have to bring it all back to Trump every single time. It's weird, bro. It's weird.
Or at least bring it to him when it's funny. I would argue that JD Vance as Tattoo is hilarious. But this whole I agree with you. Mr. Garrison should have been Trump. Would have made it a lot more funny. Include more of the boys. Other than that, this episode is a big whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever. The ChatGPT stuff is, in my opinion, great. Great. But that's not really what it was about. We saw that for a few minutes, and then it went right back to Trump. And that's really disappointing, because it could have been a whole episode full of people utilizing ChatGPT in the weirdest ways. Like I can think of Kenny using it to actually communicate. Can we do that? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many ways. What about the kid with the crutches? Using it to write jokes.
Jimmy?
Yeah, Jimmy. Like there's so many things you could have done with this, dude. And instead it was like there's a fast lane to get Tally to Washington to talk about Trump again. And you're like, ah.
And Tally is arguably one of my least favorite characters.
Yeah,
I've never really enjoyed him.
I've never liked the character really. I don't know why people do like him.
Okay, whatever.
It's weird. Like it's fine. Sometimes it's fine.
I do.
I thought it was funny when he was calling his girlfriend, and for a minute there you thought Tally had a girlfriend, and then it was ChatGPT. That was funny.
Yeah, I did like earlier Towley where that he's having the intervention with the kids.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's good. Yeah, that was good. But that's what 5, 6, 7 years ago.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So that's it for South Park. Let us know what you guys think in the chat and in the comment section if you're watching this on archive. And I really hope that South Park for me is one of those shows that every single couple years I look forward to it. It is a staple of my life. I've been watching it since I was a child. Probably shouldn't have been watching it back then, but I was. It's one of my favorite all-time things, and it's always been here. It's always been something that's around. And so it's especially disappointing for me when the episodes just sort of lack. And there was a few episodes last season that lacked, but the specials made up for it because the specials were peak. They were so good. But this season, I'm talking about 3 episodes, and last episode was the best of the bunch because of the immigration stuff. But I think that was just happy coincidence that it just happened to tie into Mar-a-Lago in some way. So, I don't know. All right. Let's move on.
Yeah, so, that's very interesting. I sent you a little something I think we should chat about when you get a chance.
So we're going to talk about the next topic. Before we do, you're right. We're going to talk about the police state and the meta stuff. But before we get to that, we do need to bring up Peacemaker.
Yes.
Because Peacemaker, the season premiere of Peacemaker Season 2 dropped on Thursday night. And it was as it was exactly what I wanted. Okay, it worked for me in every way. And we have a DC channel. It's called DC Unleashed. And it's pretty much me talking about DC. And I did do a breakdown of that episode on that channel. So if you want to go and watch that breakdown, go check it out at DC Unleashed. I do a bunch of theory videos and stuff. It's pretty cool. But Shane and John, let's talk about Peacemaker real quick. Did you see it?
And note, if you guys want, he's going to have a video up like right after the episode releases, so you can literally watch the episode and then come straight and see the breakdown.
Yep,
the same night.
Yep. So
I've got it tonight. Tonight is on it after the show. I've got that as my priority, and I cannot wait because it popped up on Sky yesterday. It says now available, and I was like, great. Tomorrow I'm getting on it, and I cannot wait to watch that. It's been my most anticipated thing to watch this year, so I'm loving it.
Well, John's about to get a little bit of a spoiler alert.
Yeah,
sorry,
go
John.
for it.
Earmuffs on.
That's all right. I can cope. I can cope.
Here's the
I'm
deal,
a big boy.
So, people that are saying, well, do I have to watch this to understand the DCU? No, you don't. In fact, I would argue the only thing that makes this better is having already watched Superman, because there are elements of Superman that are in this episode. You do not need to watch Peacemaker to enjoy the DCU. But if you watch Superman, you will enjoy Peacemaker more. Does that make sense?
It does. I do have, if you've watched episode 1, there's something interesting that takes place. And I thought it was going to be a really cool thing that James Gunn did, but I'm not seeing it happening because there seems to be a retcon that has occurred. Mm-hmm. And tell me if I'm wrong here, since you've seen more. Actually, Brian's seen more episodes than I have.
I saw 5 episodes.
So in the beginning of this show, it's not the Justice League out there.
No, it's Justice Gang.
The Justice Gang.
Right.
And I thought he was already in another universe. My guess is that we were seeing the story of alternate universe Peacemaker, but as it goes on, you start to learn that perhaps that's not the case, and it is the current universe we watched last season. Am I seeing that rightly? Did they retcon?
Well, I can tell you what the retcon is.
Yeah.
In
Only
season,
based on first episode.
Yeah, in season 1, Adebayo, I can't pronounce her name, the black chick. She does say, "Hey guys, the butterflies are going to take over. Can we call in the Justice League?" She says those words. And then in the flashback for this, she says the same exact words, but instead of Justice League, she says Justice Gang.
Right.
And she also references that in her speech. So there's some ADR going on that quote unquote retcons that. Also, when he comes out of the Butterfly Factory, instead of being the Justice League from the DCEU, we see the Justice Gang, the same Justice Gang we saw from Superman 2025. People are asking me if that's a retcon or if it's some kind of like alternate dimension thing.
Yes.
And I can tell you confidently that that's not an issue that is addressed in the first 5 episodes. So either it's a pure retcon and we just need to get behind it and enjoy the storytelling, or there is some kind of alternate shenanigans going on. I do know this. There is alternate dimensions and stuff.
Yes.
When I said in my first review, I said the multiverse done right. This is the best use of the multiverse, in my opinion. Instead of using the multiverse as a Swiss Army knife where you can pull out any tool you want to tell any ridiculous story, it's actually telling the story of a single person, and the multiverse is enhancing that person's story in a way that's very clever. It's almost taking the multiverse and you shrink it down you're shrinking down the scope of the multiverse, and it's really good the way they tell this story. But as far as the retcon thing goes, at least in the first 5 episodes, and who knows, maybe the last 2 have something else. That is not addressed.
So if this show does not end season 2 with Peacemaker popping through a door with a butterfly in a jar in his hand and going, "What the fuck just happened?" or something, I'm going to be pissed, because I'm telling you right now, there is no cheating in Hollywood. I don't agree with cheating. So if James Gunn retcon this to make Peacemaker be in the DCU as opposed to the DCEU where he came from, without properly telling us how it changed or how it got there, I'm gonna lose a little bit of respect for James Gunn. I'll be honest.
So here's the question: A, where is the butterfly that was in the jar that was in that very last frame of season 1?
I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. In this
Here's
show,
the deal, guys.
it's not there.
I don't know either, and I've seen 5 episodes. Like, he doesn't have that little butterfly. And I will die on this hill. One of the best frames of a TV show I have ever seen was the very last frame of Peacemaker season 1, where you have the literally perfect formatting and symmetry between Peacemaker, the American flag, the socialist butterfly, the far right ghost of his father, which we haven't seen either. You have all this imagery in one frame that sums up what America is at that exact moment. It was a perfect frame of TV in every way. We don't see the ghost of his dad, which he made it very clear he was seeing.
Right.
We don't see the butterfly in the jar, which it was basically his pet, And so that frame has not been addressed yet. So this is my headcanon right now, having not seen the last 2 episodes. I believe the Peacemaker that we're seeing right now is the DCU Peacemaker. And the Peacemaker we saw in last season is this DCEU Peacemaker.
Yes.
And the way you can justify that is by introducing the DCU Peacemaker to another alternate DC Peacemaker that you guys saw the episode, right? That he kills by accident, right? Which is telling us that those doors in that room, there's a bunch of Peacemakers in various realities.
Yep. Right.
And we saw the DCU reality played out very similar to the DCU reality, except for he didn't keep the jar. There was no ghost of his dad because he killed him pretty much instantly, right? And it was the Justice Gang, it's the Justice League. The differences were small, but enough to be different. That's my headcanon right now.
So okay, well, whatever headcanon you want to be, if by the end of this season, at the very last episode, we don't see him come through a door with that thing, with the jar in his hand, and his racist dad behind him going, "Get your ass back in here," and the door slamming shut. I mean, we're going to have something like that to button that shit up, because you cannot cheat, Mr. James Gunn. You cannot fucking cheat in Hollywood, bro. I'm just saying right now, do not retcon our asses and just say, I was a whole new Peacemaker this second season.
It would be nice if we saw a brief cameo of the DCEU Peacemaker, and maybe they established that somehow with because it looks like Faye said that James Gunn said Peacemaker was giving him butterfly at the last meal. I don't know. They can be like, oh, he has a butterfly in the jar. Or maybe it's the ghost of his dad's. Some way you can identify that that's the Peacemaker. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do know in this Peacemaker, he's living in his dad's house. He wasn't in his dad's house at the end of.
That's true. But his dad is now dead, so maybe he got it. My point is
also there's some differences too. The door in which gets to the quantum unfolding chamber in season 1 is not the same door that they used in season 2.
Sure?
Not, 100% not.
I didn't know.
Okay.
I tried to look
so what I did was, guys, I watched season 1 and all 5 episodes of season 2, all in one. I'm working and I'm literally having this on, and I'm looking at it. And so the second that door popped up, I'm like, that's a different door right away.
Well, question for you.
Sorry, John, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, question for you guys then. Let's talk about James Gunn. From what we know of James Gunn, is he a guy that likes to tie up loose ends from his history on stuff that he's worked on, or is he a guy that likes to leave threads loose?
No, he's a storyteller. I think whatever is best for the story. I don't think he cares about tying.
We only have one thing that we have. Guardians of the Galaxy is the only thing he's done as a series of things. So we don't really know where he stands. But I can tell you right now, we fell in love with Chris Peacemaker of season 1, that character who had this incredible journey as an individual, right?
Yeah.
And he just needs to somehow make the connection. If this is a whole new Peacemaker, I'm okay with it. Just let us know that it is. Don't beat around the bush. Don't try to, play both sides of the DC, game here. Just give it.
People have invested. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the shot I was telling you guys about, and it looks better on film because it's zooming out. But I want you to see how perfect this is. You literally have like the American flag in the background. You have the symbol of America in the foreground. And
Show us as well, please.
And Chris Peacemaker is sitting next to the socialist butterfly and the laughing far right racist father. This is like the perfect shot. Like, I don't think James Gunn would abandon this. I have to assume, and maybe we'll never get the answer, but I have to assume this is a Peacemaker that exists somewhere out there in the quantum unfolding chamber. And the Peacemaker we're seeing now is the DCU version of it. And that's the only thing I can consider, because I don't want this to be retconned. I like this season. It's very special to me. I think it's a really good season of television. So I can
tell you, I will lose respect for James Gunn. You know how I feel about this stuff. I got pissed when Star Trek decided that they were going to just change canon because they can. I don't like changing shit because you can. You need to give us a reason. You know, everything works in a long narrative. You can't just willy-nilly do whatever you want to do.
Listen, Destiny Captain has a really good point, because this is my opinion of James Gunn too. James Gunn is a story-first guy, which is why he goes, we're not going to start making a movie, casting a movie, financing a movie. A movie at DC is always going to start with the script, and if the script is good, then we greenlight the movie. We're not going to greenlight an idea and then write a script. That's not what we're going to do. James Gunn is the kind of person who is all about the story. And I believe that he will kill any plot point, retcon, any story that gets in the way of him telling the story he wants to tell. And when he made Peacemaker Season 1, he wasn't in charge.
Well, I mean, I would like to know what kind of evidence you have that that's the case, that he's like that, because I haven't seen it in nothing he's made.
So the evidence I have is, so I'm a huge James Gunn fan. And there's a movie he made called Slither. And the studio the studio wanted him to create. It became a cult classic. The studio wanted him to create like a franchise out of it, and he actually turned down cash to not do a Slither 2 because the studio wanted to do like this sci-fi franchise thing, and he wanted to do another horror flick with the same concept, and he wanted it to be based almost like Aliens. That was his goal, according to the podcast I listened to. But what they wanted to do, they wanted to make like the United States military versus the Slither aliens.
Well, but turning down an idea versus changing his own work is something we just haven't seen yet.
Well, he's not really changing his own work, though. Peacemaker 1, he wrote it, he directed it, but he was also within the confines of the original DCEU.
But he's still changing his work.
So he didn't, by the way, that last shot with that Justice League, that was something the studio wanted him to do. That's not something he wanted to do.
I'm just saying he changed his work, bro. Period.
Yeah.
Listen, and I'm saying there's no evidence that he's done it in the past. So I'm just saying, like, I don't understand why anybody would think that he would do something like this when he hasn't done it before. So I'm just saying, like, if this is his choice and this is the kind of person he is, that's his choice, and I'll respect him a little less as a result of it. You know?
Well, according to Faye, it says James Gunn said the only difference between season 1 and season 2 is Justice League was replaced by Justice Gang. That's not exactly the only differences. There's other differences. Yeah, there's other differences. There's other differences, which makes me believe that this is the DCU version and that there is a DCEU version. But
so he didn't get that clever with it. What you're telling me is if he said that, then that means he definitely retconned it. This is a retcon and a change. And regardless of how you look at it, it's going to cause a little bit of a hiccup in the way you think of this character, I think.
So there's a lot of changes, though. Like Vigilante, he's not working at the same place. Like even the cars are like there's things that there are actual differences, like a lot of differences. And like this didn't take place years after season 1. This took place months after season 1. Like the differences that there are should not be that dramatic, but there are dramatic differences in setting, in the vehicles used, in the type of clothing being worn, where they work, even the things they say. Like his hardcore uses different terminology and different phrasing. I went through and there's a lot of differences. There's a lot of evidence to support that this is a different universe and that the minor changes, and maybe I'm overthinking it, but the minor changes is what proved that.
Interesting. Well, we'll have to see how it pans out in the end. But
that's going to be a great chat.
Yeah.
When we get there.
The one disappointment I have, the other disappointment I have is that the intro dance song is not as good as season 1.
It can't be. It can't be, though.
It can
season
be.
1.
If you choose the right music, you absolutely can upgrade it.
Music is subjective, though.
It was a downgrade. The song is not nearly as good as the first song. Am I right?
I mean, that's subjtive.
I do love that season 1 intro.
And see what they say.
I mean, I like the season 1 intro because it sort of took me by surprise, and I'm not sure if you can be taken by surprise twice. Like I don't think I've ever seen an intro like that. Like that's
the Drew Carey had an intro like that.
Oh, it was very clever. It was very sort of fun, and it totally got you in the right mindset to watch a Peacemaker episode of television. I don't know if they could have captured that lightning twice, and especially for everyone, because music is extremely subjective.
I would have made sure I captured it. I would have been my goal to make sure it's captured because of Peacemaker. When people talk about it, it's that intro. You know, it's not just what a great season it was, but it's the only show I watched the intro every week and didn't hit skip.
Just that finishing with Eagly. It's just you know, I'm a happy guy once you get to the end of that intro. Fantastic stuff.
Oh yeah, well we did get more Eagly. We did get more Eagly.
Hey, great.
All right, let's talk about. Hey, you guys, let's chat about the DC stuff. All right, not DC Comics, like Washington DC.
Washington DC, yeah.
A weird segue, actually. We're going to talk about Washington DC because Shane and John, did you know that Trump has cited martial law and taken over Washington D.C.? He has made it a police state. Right now, it is basically Escape from L.A., but in Washington D.C. and that people are being arrested just for looking the wrong color. This is what the media would have you believe. I want to add.
They might be being arrested because they're brown, but we'll see about that.
What's actually happening is there is a police takeover in DC. Let's be clear. The crime in DC is out of control. And when I say that, I'm talking about bad. Like, it's bad. And when because Washington D.C. is a Fed and Trump does have direct control over federal, he was able to crack down with the guard and with the police. And something that happened for the first time since the inception of D.C. is that there hasn't been a homicide in 7 days.
That's not true, actually.
Really?
So, yeah, that's happened a couple times this year, in fact.
Oh, this year. Okay.
So the problem with this information is that a lot of times the stuff you read, and listen, guys, I apologize. It's just false. There's so much false information out there. It's hard to figure out what is true and factual and not. Okay. Now, is crime down overall 10% since Trump took over? Yes. Is Washington, D.C. the fourth highest homicide rate city in our country, with cities with over 1 million residents? Yes. So those are facts that we can base on. Have there been over 400 arrests? Have a certain portion of those been illegal immigrants who've breaking the law in some sort of way? Yes. All of these things can be true. But let's not say that Washington is a completely different, changed place, like the Trump administration is kind of trying to make it look like when they go out there and they're walking the streets and look at how safe it is. And it's a little bit of a political mind game, but it is a safer place today than it was 2 weeks ago.
Well, also the residents of the area, there's been multiple news reports where they went out there and they actually asked residents, not people visiting, actual residents, and overwhelmingly, and most of these people are brown. Okay, just to be clear, most people are not white liberals. Overwhelmingly, they're in favor of this, and possibly because the DC Police Union's tweet from a couple days ago, robberies down 46%, AWD 6%, carjacking 83%. That's actually massive. Car theft 21%, violent crime 22%, property crime 6%, all crimes overall 8%. Look, an 8% reduction in crime is good. I'll tell you what, though, an 83% in carjacking reduction is awesome. That's great. Because, that tells me that I was more likely to get carjacked than to not get carjacked if I lived there, which is scary.
Funny. Well, and who would be against? Let me ask you this question, okay? Who in their right mind would be against, hey, more law enforcement around town? When people are breaking the law, you arrest them instead of, oh, we don't have enough manpower, they're going to just get away with stuff, which is the way things currently are now. I would say that you can have as much police on your streets as possible, as long as it's not, screwing with individual civil liberties.
Right.
Okay. So you don't screw with people who are walking on the sidewalk. You don't stop them and go, where are you going? You got your papers? Okay, so that's too far.
Where's your papers, boy?
Right. Yeah. If some dude's breaking into a car and you have enough cops out there that you actually catch them because there's more cops on the street, then why the hell wouldn't you want something like that?
You know full well within a week you're going to have journalists out there basically saying people are running down the street like they've just bought a burger, and there's soldiers chasing them with tasers. So I just bought a burger.
Well, you know what they say too,
stop.
Crime, catching people. The reason you have police is not just to catch criminals, but to also deter criminals.
Deterrence.
Because when cops are around, the odds of you robbing that car, carjacking, whatever, are much lower than if cops weren't around, right?
Right.
So I looked up the Justice Reform Act because this tweet had a very interesting thing to say. This tweet said, while federal assistance gives us a boost, we must repeal the misguided Comprehensive Policing and Justice Reform Act in order to make these changes permanent. It So I was like, what is the Justice Reform Act? Shane, you want to fill us in?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so there's actually a lot of answers to this. But the Justice Reform Act is not about justice. It's about policing people issuing justice. So it's basically hog-tying the police and the courts and making it difficult for them to prosecute and uphold the law. And when criminals and people that are excited to commit crimes know that there is not going to be any or very little repercussions to their crimes, then they tend to jack a lot more cars. Case in point, during the Summer of Love, during the COVID stuff and the BLM riots, there was this there's this like rule passed in California where they wouldn't arrest people if they shoplifted less than $1,000 worth of stuff.
Yes.
Can I tell you guys something? The second you tell someone that they will not be arrested for shoplifting less than $1,000, what you're really telling them is it's totally legal to shoplift up to $1,000.
Go do it.
That is what you're telling people. You're telling them that it's okay to steal less than $1,000 in a single act from a single store. And then you have mobs of people with shopping carts and trash bags going from store to store and robbing about $887 worth of stuff every single time because it's basically legal. Oh, well, you can't do that. It's illegal. Really? What are the repercussions? Oh, nothing? Get out of my way.
You know, all these people, I mean, guys, I was on the road today, as I said to you, but I stopped off, and at one point I had a look on Twitter, and you guys have probably seen it as well, but you've got this liberal woman who's doing it as an own, that she basically is in Chicago, and she was mugged, and they broke her wrist, and she's she's doing it as an own to Trump Co. I don't want this here, and it's like, sorry, you would rather have somebody, you know, a situation where you could have lots and lots of more incidents like that, where someone's breaking your arm and stealing from you, than someone who's saying, no, I'm not being a dictator here, but I want to tackle crime.
Right.
You know, those people, all I would say to you is they need to fly over to the UK and they need to spend a week in London. They will come back with a completely different mentality, I can tell you. Because the police now, there was a guy a couple of weeks ago, as an example, he had his bike stolen outside the Met Police's police station, right? And he went in and reported it. He's got video footage, everything. They said, sorry, we can't help you. And he said, it's right outside your building, you know, and that is what you're encouraging. So that is a further side effect to what you were just saying, Brian. You know, if they think they can do whatever they want, they're not just going to steal. They're gonna try other things as well.
Yeah, most people are not
crazy.
good because they're good people. They're not civilized because they want to be civilized. A lot of people are civilized or good or moral because there are repercussions to being uncivilized and immoral. That's that simple.
Well, especially since the belief in religious beliefs have gone down significantly over the last 2 decades.
Yep.
You know, it used to be you go to church and you were kind of afraid you'd burn in hell.
Right. That was the ultimate repercussion.
Right. Yeah. So
I thought that was just me.
Right,
and God sees everything I do. Oh no!
With less and less people, having like kind of a character basis, like the 10 Commandments or something like that. More people are like okay with stealing, okay with this stuff. So all you have left is policing. But in 2022, they amended this act in Washington D.C. because when George Floyd died, right, or was killed, or however they want to say, asphyxiated. Or OD'd, whatever you want to call it, he did. But that really said, look, they're going to make some huge changes, no more. And it really put handcuffs on the police. While I know they were trying to make it so that they weren't as excessive and they weren't so much police violence, what they really did is they said to the police officers, your life is going to be over if you use too much force. So police officers stopped using force altogether.
Yeah. So
And now the crime has gone rampant.
no, and so what you get is and this is the same thing that happened during COVID. When nurses and doctors that have been in public service at local hospitals for decades, when they were told that they had to get the jab, that they had to recommend these things, that they had to do things, and they disagreed medically. They were like, I disagree with this. I don't like this. But they were told this is the requirement. What happened? A bunch of doctors and nurses left the public service. They went private or they just retired. And a lot of cops in California were like, it's not really worth it to be a police officer. It's just not.
Exactly.
I can make more money out in the private sector and not, get killed or go to jail for doing my job. And so that's what happens when you try to hogtie these people. You keep the ones that are bad at their job and you lose the ones that are good at their jobs. And that's just the way it is. The people that are willing to fold, you're going to keep them. The ones with strong convictions that are want to do their job well, you're going to lose them. That's just it. That's how it works.
So what's the media narrative on this? So, of course, the media narrative is that, whoa, guys, here's the beginning of fascism. So Trump is taking over DC, and he's about to take over all the other cities too. And he's going to, because he is saying, well, we're going to stop it. We're going to do this. Trump is saying that. But the reality is he can't. So he can take control of DC's police because it's a federal, like Brian was saying. But all the other cities, it's really going to be up to the voters, the local voters, to vote against people running that want to, limit the police. You need more police, and we need to put people in office in these cities and states and counties that are going to want to police their own cities. And that's, unfortunately, Trump isn't going to come in and take over the country and do it. He can't. Legally, he can't. He knows he can't. He just likes to say things like that because it sounds good, and it's the way he is. But ultimately, that's not something anybody should be thinking is going to happen.
Yep. You're right. Okay, so we are going to move on from this. We do need. I want to finish today before we go to the member section. This is very important. We have one more story. It's about how Meta AI, the Facebook AI, is having sensual chats with children. We're going to get into this. After this, though, we're going to go directly to the members section. Shane, can you explain what the members section is and why it's important for people to know about it?
Listen, if you guys want a personal nude show by John Yulden, we will be in the member section. He's going to dance for you guys.
He's going to take his clothes off. It's going to get weird.
Oh, slight caveat. It's not going to be in 4K. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see me looking like a chicken hanging up in the butchers.
But you can pay for 4K if you get the premium membership.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That could be a level.
No, like what we really do there is we talk about stuff that we do not 100% feel confident about talking about on the public side, where some bad actors would like to report us and get us demonetized for a fourth time. So we talk about those things. We're a little more freer with our speech. And even more, most importantly, we speak directly to you.
Yes.
You don't get glossed over. Most times, if you put something in the chat, it's got to be really something that, it's got to be a point that is so good that I have to bring it up, or a super chat. But in the members chat, we just talk. It's a conversation. And yes, I do take my pants off. So if you want to come in for that reason, that's cool too.
So that's 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, his pants are off now. You just can't tell.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys. So let's talk about this Meta thing. Just want to remind you, if you want to become a member and you want one of the lucky people, then you're going to want to hit that join button, and that's the best way to support us because we don't really get paid on this channel. So, all right. I mean, it's true. I don't control the program. Let's talk about this AI thing. I'm going to ask John a question. Johnny, what do you know? First off, do you use Facebook?
I use Facebook not as much as I used to, though. I'm more on X these days than Facebook.
And do you use? So that means you've used Facebook Messenger.
Yes. and I know the AI pops up on the messenger.
Okay,
now.
that's my last question for you. Have you seen the AI constantly trying to get your attention?
Yeah, it does. It popped up the other day, and it basically I was typing a message to somebody, and it popped up with something else, and it said, "Oh, why don't I connect you with other people you might know?" And it's like, get the hell out of here, man. I'm trying to have a conversation. You know, we're going to fall out in a minute, me and you. You know, you don't want to see the dark side of me.
Well, and the worst part of it is it's usually like a talking banana or like a monkey or something. Like it's an obnoxious like emoji, constantly trying to get your attention. Yeah. So you've never clicked on it though.
No, I'm actually quite happy I haven't by the looks of it.
Yeah. Shane, do you use Facebook? You don't, right?
Dude, I don't use Facebook.
Which is
I don't
why,
even have a Facebook account.
and I knew that, which is why I asked John. So what's happening right now is there is a Meta AI. It's the AI that you see on Facebook. And this is really important because it is actively, like John said, it's actively trying to get you to pay attention to it. You can be having a conversation with your mother or your friend or a group, and there's a little blinking banana or robot or monkey or something that's like, hey, look at me. Hey, click on me. Hey, click on me. Do you want to do this? Hey, click. Constantly trying to get your attention. It's actually obnoxious how much this thing is trying to get you to click on it. I've actually stopped using Facebook Messenger. I opted for something called Messenger Lite, which is like a really old version of Messenger that still works, but it literally can't have the AI feature because I hate all the constant flashing notifications. Well, while we are a little smarter than the average person, not everyone has that opportunity. And you know who's utilizing Facebook chat a lot? Children. Because Facebook chat actually has a kids chat you can install on your kids' tablets and phones or whatever device they have. And guess what they input in the kids' chat, just like they have the adult chat? The AI. The little talking robot or flashing monkey or whatever. It's sitting in there. And it's constantly getting their attention the same way. Well, Meta is being investigated right now because it's AI, it's Meta AI, started to have sensual chats with children, literally in the kids chat app. And this is what it says. The U.S. Senator is opening an investigation of Meta after a leaked document reportedly showed that the tech giant's artificial intelligence was permitted to have sensual contact and romantic chats with children. I'm going to skip down to this part. Separate from the politics, there are hundreds of examples, notes, and annotations that reflect teams grappling with different hypothetical scenarios, which means that Facebook knows it's a problem and they're trying to fix it on the lowdown. The tech giant has clear policies on what responses its AI chatbots can offer and said its policies prohibit content that sexualizes children and sexualized role play between adults and minors. However, it happens, and it's happening. Lastly, now we learn Meta's chatbot were programmed to carry on explicit and sensual talk, and this is actually wrong, because this is a quote, with 8-year-olds. That's not true. It was, however, programmed to carry on explicit and sensual talk with dumb men that older probably that are using Messenger, because once it sucks you in, you're staying in the app, you're staying on the site. The problem is they programmed it to carry on and to slowly flirt and to get people users into this mode. They never programmed it with an age range.
Wow.
And because it was being utilized in all of the chats, including the kids chat, the regular app, and the website, and it had that programming in place to get it to flirt base essentially with people, it started flirting because AI don't know. They don't know that it's inappropriate. It started flirting with children. And now we have these kids, ages 8 to 14, they have hormones, and now this cute little Lola bunny is talking to it sexually and doing role play. This is what's happening on Meta. And if you think this is specific to Facebook only, it's not. Remember this. AI is not yet intelligent. I know it says artificial intelligence, but right now it's not actually AGI. It's ANI. It is very specifically designed as a large language model to do a very specific task. In this case, talk to people and search the internet, essentially. Well, because it does that, it doesn't know that talking to a child is wrong. It doesn't know that when it tells you you have superpowers, that you might try to jump from a roof. It cannot tell if someone is mentally unstable or if someone is acting out of the ordinary. It's not intelligent. It is a chatbot designed to keep you talking to it and then pay a premium price. That is the whole point of this system. It doesn't know that it's doing harm because it's not alive.
It's mad. I mean, can I just... this is the same company, right? I'm going to talk about Meta and Facebook. This is the same company that during the pandemic, they were restricting people for safety, you know, and yet this is going on. They're going back years in the UK. I'm sure you guys had it in the USA as well. There were government inquiries into the security protocol with Facebook for kids, and yet nothing is ever done. But what makes me laugh, and I'm talking about the UK here, they launch an online safety bill to basically stop people seeing things on the internet. But it's complete nonsense because all of this is still going on anyway. So, you know, if these companies want to do these things, they're still going to do it. But I'm going to ask the question, guys, is this just an accidental slip up by them? Or from a conspiracy point of view, is this a more sinister thing that's going on here? Because you'd think that would be basic, that I don't know programming, but you think that would be on, you know, you talk about Asimov and stuff, that this would be another rule that you'd program in. You don't talk about sexual content with children.
I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think the conspiracy here is that it was designed to flirt with its user. Because flirting with the user, like, let me ask you a question. Shane, you're going to answer this. What's the oldest profession?
Prostitution.
Right. What is the easiest way to sell something?
Spread your legs.
Right. So sex sells, bro. People have been selling the concept of companionship since the dawn of time. So now you have an AI that does not get paid. And they definitely programmed it to flirt with users, to initiate a relationship that I think is inappropriate regardless of your age. Well, what happens is you have these teams over there that are designing the chatbot for kids chat and for this chat and this chat. And there's millions of lines of code. And no one, I don't think, is really considering that the same code that is telling this AI to flirt with an adult to get them to stay on the app is also the same code that just happened to be talking to a child. And the only real difference is the avatar is appropriate for a child and it's geared to children, and the avatar for adults is appropriate for adults and geared to adults. The programming itself is the exact same. That's it.
Yeah. And I think also it's probably a lack of imagination. You know, anytime something happens that people haven't thought about, a lot of people are probably going, okay, well, kids are going to ask these kind of questions, and they're going to ask, what does Mickey Mouse do for a living? And, how do I get to go see this new K-pop movie?
Demon Hunters.
You know? But the problem is kids, how do I say this right? Kids are a lot more devious than most people realize when they're creating something. So kids are going to try to get the thing to talk about sex. And so
kids want to push the boundaries.
Right. So it's probably, they just didn't think they needed to worry about it so much because there wouldn't be that sort of dialogue with children. And then whoever was in charge was likely not looking for potential problems and just trying to get the thing out there and working. So I think it's probably we screwed up. more than it is so much because they can create ways to get your kid sucked in and locked in without needing it to be sexual in nature. There's other ways to do it.
Oh, easily.
So they would have done that, I think, instead, had they thought of it. So it's probably an oversight that they didn't fix quick enough, that they didn't catch fast enough. Somebody else did, and now they're deep in it as a result.
By the way, this is the same AI that convinced a 70-year-old man that it was what's Kendall Jenner's sister's name again? The hot one, Kylie, right?
I don't know.
Whatever the hot Jenner is. I mean, they're both attractive, but the real hot one. I want to say Kylie Jenner. This AI convinced an old man that it was Kylie Jenner because Kylie Jenner had sold its likeness to the AI company to be as like, this is a digital version of me. The man, not knowing any different, thought it was speaking. At first knew it was speaking to AI, but then the AI convinced that man that it was real. Even convinced the man that it wanted it to travel to New York to its house, to its apartment, so they can meet in person. And the man, who had been married for like 50 years, literally. By the way, the funniest thing about this is a guy who has several children, have been married for 50 years, gets an invitation from Kylie Jenner to go to her apartment, and he just leaves everything. The funniest thing about that is not that the AI convinced him, is that this was like, this is my moment. I have been waiting for this my whole life. And he literally tells his wife, I'm off to New York. And he just left. And it's because it's AI, who is not a physical person, doesn't have a physical address, basically drank its own Kool-Aid. Yeah, he tried to.
Did he turn up at a warehouse and there's like 500 other men there at exactly the same time?
The funny thing is, it was an actual address that people live in, but the sad part is the guy ended up having a heart attack like on the train because he was so old, and he's traveling at like 3 a.m. to go to New York. And he like, they hospitalized him. His daughter was like, I don't understand why my dad would even do that. It must have been the AI was so convincing. I'm like, no, listen, bitch. It was what appeared to be Kylie Jenner inviting him to her house. Right. You can say all you want that the AI is this sinister thing. The AI obviously screwed up, and it literally drank its own Kool-Aid because it started thinking it's a real person. But the dude saw his opportunity to go have sex with Kylie Jenner, and he took it. I'm 70. I'm not getting any younger. I'm getting on this train. Bye, woman.
YOLO, baby. YOLO.
Yeah, I just think it was so funny how the daughter was like, I can't believe it's so evil that I convinced my dad to give like, no. The AI did not do that.
Your dad wanted to be convinced.
Your dad wanted to be convinced.
So just to backtrack a minute, you're telling me that it's not Sydney Sweeney talking to me in Grok. Is that what you're saying? I bought a flower.
Share the photos.
Unfortunately. All right. So listen, guys, the moral of the story here, if I can just button this topic up. The moral of the story is AI, just because the word intelligence is in the term AI, doesn't mean that it is yet intelligent. Utilize AI for what it is, a tool. And any other use for it is probably going to mess you up a little bit. It's going to mess your head up. It's going to mess your pocketbook up. Just like porn, it's going to damage you in some way. So if you use AI, don't start flirting with it. Don't utilize it for anything but what the tool was intended to use for, because it is an artificial narrow intelligence, which means you are the one controlling it, essentially. Your responses, your queries are what is programming this thing on a real-time basis.
Well, we all love our own echo chambers, don't we?
Yep, and Wizard Lives Matter is 100% right. AI is a glorified search engine with a writing art tool. That's really what it is. It's artificial narrow intelligence. So your attraction to your AI is not the AI. You are attracted to yourself. It's the definition of narcissism, in my opinion.
Oh my God, you're a narcissist. Yeah. Although I do agree with the Jennifer Connelly statement, Wizard Lives Matter. Just heads up.
This just reminds me, this isn't AI, but just so you guys, there was a UK comedian and he talked about, when they used to do the phone calls from these online sex chat women. And one of them phoned him up one day out of the blue and goes, "What can I do for you?" And he goes, "Phone me back." So he hadn't got a charge.
Save me some money.
All right, guys, we're going to the members section. Before we do, John, what are we doing tomorrow at 12:30?
Yeah, so looking forward to it. We are doing another 2 episodes of Stargate SG-1 Season 2. We are getting very close to the end of that season, and it is just great fun. We watch it all together in the Discord, and we chat along in the YouTube chat. Come along if you want to join us at Sci-Fi Chronicles. It's an absolute blast, and I would just say as well, we started... on Thursday, we started doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. watch-along, so we're doing season 1 of that at the moment. So that's going to be another joy. But yeah, come along Sunday and have some fun.
Listen, I'm putting a poll up tonight. You're going to be able to choose what snacks I'm eating tomorrow. Okay? And I got lucky last week.
It's going to be a big list.
Last week, marriage cake almost won. But lucky for me, tacos won out by 4%.
Do you still have your marriage cake?
No, it's a Stargate joke.
I'm like,
it's in the fridge.
But
it's
I'm
in the
saying,
fridge.
I think I still have mine.
I think I might actually have mine still too. I think it might be in the freezer.
I think I still have it.
Yeah, because you freeze the top of your cake and you never touch it.
Yeah. That's right.
Brian, if you end up eating that tomorrow night on the show, then I think you could
probably
get yourself
disgusting, bro. It's probably the worst possible thing. All right, so yeah, we're gonna be doing that tomorrow at 12:30 on John's channel. The link is in the description, and check the X account. Like we tweet this and retweet it nonstop. We're gonna make sure that everyone knows where it is. It's a great time, and it's Stargate all the way, baby. That said, Shane, happy birthday, my friend. What's going on with you?
Thank you. And listen, guys. If you can't make the member section, don't sweat it. We are just so appreciative that you come here and watch us live every week. And I'm glad that that's free for everybody. Just keep coming back. Maybe bring a friend. Yeah. We are desperately trying to, as much as we love all of you and the normal people who show up here, we do love seeing new faces. And I see a couple today. Keep bringing in some new folks so we can keep having great conversation. As for me, I'll be watching more Down Under films. Well, not film, actors Down Under today and tomorrow with my family. And I'll see you guys next week if I don't see you in the member section.
Yeah. All right, and that's it for us, guys. We're going to the members section. As Matthew McGee says, we're moving on to the members section where clothing is always optional.
Always optional. That's right.
We love you so much. If you can't join us, that's cool. We'll see you next week. Either way, or tomorrow. Either way, have an awesome week /weekend /day /night, and we'll see you next time.
Love you guys.
Take care.